Okay, hello everyone. It's great to have you all on board. It's another time with Tutor.io, the enthusiastic people. And in today's tutorial, it happens to be a continuation of bed 212 and coding the terminal will be taking right the architecture of computer system and basically we're going to be having this very last class on the course for this semester. I know we have not been able to cover the whole thing, but considering the fact that we haven't done much as far as this department is concerned, we need to look into increasing the pace. So the idea is the keynotes will be given to students in as much as you request for it. So from the keynotes you can cover up what we are unable to cover in the class. And this still boils down to encouraging students to show interest in the classes early, even before you register for the semester. So when we check to get to know what courses you're doing the next semester, we can start taking classes. So by the time you eventually register, there's enough time gone through the whole thing before the TMA gets started, and before you know it, the exam is already around the corner after the TMA. So for those of us who are new to the stream, let's ensure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to increase the limit of this course, highly essential, tutorial.net, use the WhatsApp button in the top right hand corner to send us a direct message. With this being said, let's hop straight into today's class. Okay. So according to the thumbnail, it says the architecture. All right, the architecture of computer system. The architecture of computer system. So talking about the architecture of computer system, there are a lot of things involved. Okay, we are simply talking about the in biology or in science we call it anatomy. All right, we want to talk about the whole system, how a living thing or how a system works entirely. You want to put into consideration every department, you want to put into consideration every cell, every unit of life that makes up this system. Talking about the anatomy. So the same thing we are talking about here, the architecture. We want to know what makes the computer the computer. Okay? What makes the computer the computer? How does it function? Definitely things put in place to the functionality of this device. So that we'll be considering in today's class and other things as well. So we want to start with the CPU. Okay, to start with, first on the list is the CPU. Are we together? Now, the CPU is the brain, and the brain does a lot of things. Sensory motions, thinking faculty, decision making, everything we do, definitely the brain gives the go ahead. All right, everything we do, definitely the brain gives the go ahead. The same thing with the computer. All right, the CPU is the brain of the computer. It is where all the searching, sorting, calculation, decision making, etc., takes place. All right, all activity, nothing all activities pass through the CPU, just like your brain. There's nothing you want, to the extent that even touches, your responses to touch, your responses to environment, your responses to feeling, the brain is the mastermind behind it. All right? You can imagine how circuits runs fast, all right, in the system. You can imagine when you step on something, probably you step on a stone or you step on a sharp, your leg was what you use in stepping on it. Before you know it, you feel the pain almost all over your body. It's not just that particular spot. What makes this possible? It is the sensory circuit distributed from your brain to all the parts of the body that makes this possible. So it's not just that finger or that part of your leg that will feel that pain. All right? Nothing happens to your responses, your decision, everything, the brain approves of it. And that's why you can process, feel, or respond to it. The same thing goes to the computer. Now, the CPU collects all the raw data from various input devices, such as the keyboard or mouse, and converts it into what? Useful information. Basically, it is what it is. Convert this raw material received through the input devices into what we refer as useful information by carrying out software instruction. All right, I so much love this definition. Receives, collect raw. In our 100 level first semester, we did just 103, and we're able to identify the difference between data and information. These are completely two different things. Are we together? They are completely two different things. Data is raw, right? And you need something raw to make something useful, something that can attend to a need, something that can solve a problem. Meaning that every solution, every information was once in a raw state. All right, that product you find so amazing, useful, best in the world was once in a state of rawness. All right, was once in a state whereby it was just raw. It was not useful. All right, and in the raw state, it only takes someone with a foresight that can identify that if this raw material can be processed, then it becomes a product, then it becomes an information. A product definitely will attract value, such as information. But data, raw material, doesn't work that way. So the computer collects this raw information, raw data, through the input devices. So once they are collected, that's the first step. Once they are collected, then there's a conversion process. Then it converts them into what we refer to as information. And this information that it has converted, it is not good enough. You have a wonderful product, you have a product that can cure a sickness or whatever illness or outbreak. Your product is as useless as any other thing if it doesn't get to where it is required. If it doesn't reach the right audience, or if it doesn't reach the targeted audience, it is as useless as if it had never existed. So it's a different thing for your product to be wow, for it to be top notch, and it's a different thing for that product to get into the hands of the people you made them for originally. Right? So in as much as the computer has collected, the computer needs to give this information back. All right? It needs to give this information back, and information by carrying out software instructions, definitely. Right? The reason why you went after the raw materials to process them is because you want to use information, the product, to get something in return. All right? So this is just basic definition we can get. Simple, precise, and straightforward. Now, the result of all that work is then sent to the output device or devices such as the monitor and the printer. All right, the CPU is a microprocessor. The CPU is microprocessor. So we say micro, something small. Remember in our economics, last 100 level second semester, when we talked about macro and micro economics, talk about aggregate decision, then you have macro. But when you talk about household, firm, individual decisions, then you talk about micro, a niched, a narrowed down. All right. So we have it is micro. CPU is a microprocessor. It's a silicon chip, very small silicon chip, tiny as it can get. All right, and this silicon chip is composed of tiny electrical switches called transistors. Are we together? All that for the CPU set. Now, one thing we also need to understand is that the speed at which the processor carries out its operation is measured in megahertz. Operation speed. Is measured in, if I'm not mistaken, okay. Measured in megahertz. That's MEGAHERTZ. All right, measured in megahertz. So you want to take note of that, which is also represented by megahertz or gigahertz. That's MHz, MHz, or GHz. So we have that. Please let's take note of all those points. Very, very important. And the higher, definitely the higher the MHz, the faster the computer can process info. So a computer and CPU, a contemporary computer or CPU today runs at least around 3 MHz or GHz. So let's talk about the control unit very quickly. Under the control unit, it coordinates the work. One thing you need to understand about the control unit is that the control unit coordinates the work of the whole computer system. You can refer to it as the administrator. It coordinates. That's the control unit for you. It coordinates all. Are we together? It coordinates all the work of the whole computer system. Now, it has 3 main jobs. First, control the hardware attached to the system. We said it then that the hardware devices are those devices that you can touch and you can see. The mouse, printer, monitor, keyboard, you can see them and you can touch them. Computer is not limited to just the hardware alone. Okay, so we have it controls the hardware that is attached to the system. It controls the input and output of data. All right, input and output of data, it controls it. Are we together? So we have, it controls the flow of data as well. It controls how data should be apportioned, it should be structured. So it controls the flow of data as well. So we have that as that. There is something called IAS. IAS is an acronym for the immediate access store. When we talk about the immediate access store, it holds the data and program needed at the instant. It is the storage, the backup, the repository for information that the computer needs very swiftly. Okay. Now let's take note of that. So according to the IAS, I think we are live now. I think on the network. That is the immediate access store. It is responsible for the holding of programs that the computer needs instance. Find those in control. All right. Programs the control unit needs at instant. Then you have the IAS. Also have the arithmetic and logic units. Arithmetic and logic units. This is where arithmetic and I noticed there's a mistake somewhere. That should be ALU. Thank you very much for that. That should be ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. It has to do with everything calculation. Okay. They are move straight to problem input devices. You know, like I said earlier, they are the ones that help the computer to collect this data. Okay, how's the thing from the network? We are live now. So as I was explaining, the ALU is responsible. That was the thing from the network. We are live again. So as I was explaining, we have the IAS. I think I need to switch my macro. So we have the IAS. What makes the IAS different? So according to the name, it's an acronym for Immediate Access Store. Right? That's A, immediate access store. Immediate access store, as we have that as that. And what does it does? It holds data and program needed at the instant by the control unit. Okay, we have that as that. So basically, it's pretty late, and I wouldn't want to hold us much. And like I said, please, for those of us who have not gotten the keynote, let's ensure to get the keynote. Let's talk about the input device before we call it a wrap. As far as the input device is concerned, all right, like I said earlier, this is the only means through which you get to communicate with the computer, and the computer may carry out certain instructions based on your instructions. All right. And under this, we have the likes of the keyboard, the mouse, the scanner, and so on and so forth. Okay, now there's something I want you to notice here is that the layout of the letters on the keyboard is standard across many countries, as it is called QWERTY. Right? QWERTY. Let's see if I can write that out. So it's not like it's a word, but it's a combination of letters, alphabet. It's a combination of alphabet. And you can find this on your first set of keyboard after the numbers and everything. Okay, let's say your first set of alphabetic keyboards. You find them there. So input device that we know that the medium through which the computer receives instructions from the user. So we have that as that. So I want us to call it wrap here for tonight. It's been a very long day, and I wouldn't want to stress us as well. And once the keynote is ready, you all can request it and get it and use it to prepare for our exams. Thank you very much, and do have a wonderful evening. Next time we are meeting for this department, it's going to be a different course. And bye for now.